Hey everybody, it's Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing, and tonight I want to talk about flipping tubes. I'm not going to talk about tubes that you put the jig head inside and you drag them, and I'm just going to talk about flipping tubes tonight. So I'll do the other kind another night. But I was going through my stuff and found some old ones that I don't use anymore or that you can't get, and some that are new that I like to use. So I figured let me just do the whole. I'll do both, like I did with the soft plastic jerk baits. Now, my favorite flipping tube I showed you is the Venom. It's the double dipped 5-inch flipping tube, and my favorite color, because I've got this many bags of just one color, is, let me get one that actually. Unfortunately, the names are ripped off the thing, but this, what I would consider a black neon, even though it's a black and red flake. This is my favorite one. Back in the day especially, this was money every lake that you go flip this on. And when I talk about a flipping tube, it's really like just jig fishing, or throwing a creature bait. Now with the 5-incher, I can get away with a 5/0 EWG, but usually I use the 4/0. And there's your 4/0 gamey right there. As you guys can see, I like using the red hooks, and you just, and these are a hollow on the inside. So once you get through that top there, just rig it up to the top of where that bend is on the hook, and cinch it through, just like you would any Texas rig. And you can see where that 4/0 hook takes you. It's almost to where the little legs are on the tube. So the 4 is good, but you can get away with a 5. When you throw that, that is a killer flipping bait. And I don't really, unless it's super, super heavy cover, you could, nose hook that soft plastic on there. But I usually just let it lay on top. And when you flip a tube, and to me, like all soft plastics, even more so than a jig, you're really going to be a line watcher, because you'll throw that tube out around weeds, a dock, whatever lay down, whatever cover you're throwing out, and your line will just start moving off. That's when you set the hook. But there you go. And then whatever weight you want to use will obviously be there. But there you go. There's your traditional flipping tube. And the Venom ones that I'm going to show you, they're a little bigger. They're a 5-inch tube. A lot of the other ones I'm going to show you are 4.5 or a 4. But the Venom tube is definitely my favorite. And I've got a lot of these black neon colors here that I call them. They call it on the website. I've actually got their website up because for some reason Tackle Warehouse doesn't have the 5-inch flipping tube on there. And they've got, if you go to the Venom website, they've got like 30 colors here. And you can get, a 6-pack of them for $5.59, or you could get a 50-pack for $30. So if you got a few colors you like, you could just stock up on, with a 50-pack to last you forever. Let me see. Yeah, it's a 5-inch bait, and that's the double dipped. But on the Venom website, you'll see them. And I'm just going to show you through a few of my favorite colors. Obviously, that black, black red glitter one. That's my favorite. As you can see, I've got 1, 2. I don't know how many bags of them I got. And some of the other, you can never go wrong with just the black blue. That's a black with a blue flake in it. You can see some of these bags are old. They're falling apart and I'm hanging on there. But that black with the blue flake is good. Another of my favorites was just fishing back in Jersey. The green pumpkin was always great. Just the green pumpkin one on like a pack on especially. The green pumpkin was great. Did really well with that. And they also have the ones, Venom, you can get them where they're, I think it's Chad Grigsby who's part of that. If it's still, I'm sure they probably still have them. Looks like they still have them on the website. The ones that have the different color tails. Like this is like a green pumpkin with a chartreuse, which is nice when you get some dirty water. This one is green pumpkin with red flake. But really, in my opinion, you don't need a lot of different colors for flipping tubes. A green pumpkin, that black neon. If you want one with a chartreuse tail, that's good. trying to think if there's any other ones specifically from Venom that I would recommend. But to me, those are the best. Looking at their website, and like I said, they got like 30 colors. Now, the only other one I would recommend from them, let me see if I can find my Venom box. See, all my flipping tubes are back here in boxes. Let me see if I have the box that has just Venom in it. That might be Venom. Let me check. Yeah, I think this is the Venom box here. I think this is my Venom box, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can kind of see how that looks. You know, some of these are really cool, these Venoms. But I always have this. This one's always stacked with that black neon color. I call it black neon. I know they call it something different. But, you know, that watermelon with that chartreuse tail is really nice. But I don't have, and I don't know if I've never gotten them. I use them from other companies, but a white tube is great too. And I'll get to that when I show them to you. But, you know, any of these are really, that looks a little, I don't know if that's the 5-incher. Seems shorter. Yeah, it's definitely shorter. That's not a 5-inch flipping tube, but there you go. So the Venom flipping tube is my number one. Another tube I throw a lot, not as much as I used to, is the Strike King. You know, there's lots of different kinds. Like here's the Strike King coffee tube in the white, and I throw this a lot, especially when the fish, it's early season, fish are up by beds. And this is only 4.5 inches. Smells good. That coffee smell is good. But that's the Strike King 4.5-inch coffee tube. Now I don't know where Strike King is at nowadays. I'm going to check here quick as far as you know, their tubes, what they're still making, what they're. I don't know if the flipping tube is as big of a part of their lineup as it used to be. I might be wrong. Let me see. They've got so many baits. And I'm just looking at the Tackle Warehouse site now for their. All right, coffee tube, 4.5-inch, 8 colors. So they still have it. The Denny Brauer flipping tube, 7 colors. So I can show you some of the Denny Brauer. I mean, they have Denny and KVD on the pack there. This is an old one. But any of these 4.5-inch flipping tubes, whatever color you like. This like green pumpkin with the chartreuse is good. I've got a couple of the whites because the white is really good. Black and blue. And I even have some of the old packs. I don't even know if they make them looking like this more. These are the old, like Denny Brauer flips, because Denny years ago, when he won the Classic, he won it on the flipping tube, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the old, you know, Denny Brauer, black and blue flipping tube. I remember him winning the Classic, flipping that thing around back in the day. But I don't know if they actually have this packaging anymore. I think it's more like the coffee tubes. And I'm trying to see if I have any like newer, like that looks like a newer type pack. And I think that's black and blue too. Yeah, black with blue tail. So I don't think it's going to be that much different looking. Let's see if the new one looks any different than the old one. If I can get it open. But whatever flipping tube you... No, I'm not going to try to get that up. This pumpkin or brown color they used to have used to be great. I used to catch them on that. I don't know if they make that anymore. Here's another... Here's a white one. If that's any different than those other ones. That neon blue, or whatever they called it. Let me see if it's on that. Electric blue, sorry. That electric blue was always good. These packs are old, but you can still get them. The color options may not be as big as they used to be, but you know, it's a little thinner, but it's a nice tube. That's just a regular one. That's not the coffee one. But the Venom tube, you know, I like it because it's a bigger tube. It's a 5-inch. You want that 4.5-inch, maybe a little more compact. You know, some of these are very old. I'll just show them to you quick. And the coffee one you've seen, another one they used to have, and I don't even see it. Let me see if this is on the site. I don't think they make these anymore. I'll show you some baits that are from Strike King, yeah. Now, this is their old Bleeding Tube series, which I still have, which is nice. They're nice colors. But I don't think they don't make them anymore. So you would get like, I mean, that's a nice looking tube. You get the like the green pumpkin with that orange on there. These were, I always did well with these. I was surprised I didn't keep making them. But I still have them hanging around there on the shelf. These different bleeding tube colors. This is like watermelon to chartreuse. That looks like watermelon orange to me. But I can see the chartreuse on there. May have faded a little over the years. June bug. Then the tails are always a different color. That's a white one, and then with that bleeding series. So you may find these online somewhere if you look around. I haven't bought any in a long time. But number one is definitely the Venom. The Strike King I still like. A new tube that I've got, but I haven't thrown a lot yet, but I do like them, is one that I found on, it might have been like a Tactical Bassin video, and they were talking about them, was this Dry Creek. And this is a 5-inch tube too. And I liked it because it's a 5-inch tube. And this color is Yellow Jacket, so it's like a black and chartreuse. But that's a nice 5-inch tube. So I haven't thrown these that much yet. Sometimes when you get your tubes, you might want to, these might still be together here, and I just kind of pull them apart. If you get them, they're not quite separated. You can use a snipper or just do it with your hand. Just don't try to rip the legs off. But these Dry Creek ones are nice. I'm going to throw more this year. I got them, and then I threw them a little, and then I went back to the Venom ones. But they make a lot of nice colors. Bama Craw. I think you can get them on Tackle Warehouse. I'll even check for you guys while we're talking about them. But, green pumpkin pepper. Green pumpkin tube is great. You can't go wrong with a green pumpkin tube. And I used to just dip I'd put a little orange on the tentacles of it. Let's see if Dry Creek is still on here. I'm sure they probably are, because they're pretty new. Let's see, what's this one? Texas Craw. Take that out of the pack for you. Wait for this to pop up. These are Texas Craw color with a little red on there. A little extra plastic there, but nice looking tubes. Like I said, I like that 5-inch tube. I like that with bigger size tube for flipping. Let's see, yeah, Dry Creek Outfitters. And that's on Tackle Warehouse. They may have their own website too, I don't know. This is the only thing I have from the company. Yeah, they make a 2 3/4 inch tube. They make a 3.5, another 3.5. Looks like tubes is their deal. And some other things. 4.5. And then there's the 5-inch tube. And they got like 13 colors. So I don't have 13 colors. I'll show you the ones they do got. So it's a nice tube. If you want to try something that's an option to that Venom. I think the smallies might eat that. Chartreuse Silver Glitter. Yeah, that's nice. This is the one that I've used the most from them, I believe, if I look at it. Yeah, it's Snake River Craw. This is the one I've used the most because I love that orange on there. So I don't have to take the orange. I don't have to take the, the pen, the orange dye, and put it on there. It's already on there for me. So this was one of the ones I liked the best when I got them. So there you go. There's your Dry Creek. I think that might have one more here. This June bug, or they call it bug juice. Looks like a June bug with some chartreuse. Yeah, I mean, nice looking tubes. So like I said, that's Dry Creek Outfitters. You can find them on Tackle Warehouse. They may have their own website too, I don't know. But nice tubes. And they make a bunch of different sizes. I don't know if there's anything else new. I will show you guys a couple of the old school tubes I used to use. But just to get a quick look here, like this is just I don't even remember what all these are. This is a mix of different companies and different tubes that I've, over the years that probably don't exist. I never remember the name. And I, just made a box. And some of them I think might be Strike King. Some of them I may not be. Like some of these might be Gamblers or something. And they're 4.5 or 5-inch tubes. But this used to be my tube flipping box I used to bring out on the water with me. And, flip around. But that's one box. Let's see. If you can find them, you want to see something. If you guys got if you fish in dirty water, and you can find them, that color will catch them. That color will catch them. You throw these two around in dirty water, and you will catch fish. You will catch fish. The water's real murky after it's stormy. Try them out. And this is another box that I'm not sure what all these are, like what company, but they're all 5-inch, tubes. And now some of these might be from like Lure Parts Online, Jan's Netcraft, some of those places. But it's another nice box of tubes. These are Strike King. I'll just show you the boxes quick because I've kind of showed you the Strike King. That's a Strike King box. This color, I used to love this one. This was killer right here. That orange. This was a killer color right there. You can see I only got like 5 of them left. And I know they don't make them anymore. If I ever see that color with another kind, I'll buy it. This is another Strike King box. Ooh, that might be some of the, I think that's some of the bleeding bait ones there. I'll show you guys that one quick. The ones that I don't have in bags still. Remember, these are just strictly flipping tubes. It's just strictly flipping. This one I showed you, that's the one with all the venom in there. Now I'm going to show you a few that are like, I would consider old school. They don't make them anymore, as far as I know. This is an old Riverside tube. And I used to throw these a lot, like at my local lake when I lived in Highland Lakes and flipped around, and I always did well with this one. And it's a smaller tube. This might only be a 4-inch. I don't remember if it's a 4.5. It's probably a 4. But these were nice little tubes. I used to throw these Riverside tubes, and they may be out there online. I haven't looked. They had some nice colors. I always did well with the smoke one with the red flake in it and the black. This one always was great. These were nice little tubes. Ooh, nice smell. But these have not seen the light of day in years. I can't remember the last time I threw these old Riverside ones. But the thing is you could take these out and flip them around, and you'll catch fish on them. You'll definitely catch fish on them. Oops, little black blue with June bug. This is the old Riverside tube. Like a bait fish color. So, like I said, you take these out, you'll catch fish on them. But that's an old discontinued tube I used to use back in the day, and one that I really liked. I used to catch a lot of fish on these. Was the old man's, I think it was Dragon Tube or Dragon Series. And this box has mostly them, and it looks like it might have some other ones. But this is the man's one, and this Dragon, this white one, was awesome. A great dirty water early season tube. Fish are coming up, maybe getting ready to bed up. This white one was killer. Also did really well. This is what they called, I think, a smoke with red flake or gold flake. This is the old man's Dragon Tube. This was killer on Lake Apaca. Killer. And this might have been 5-inch too. I don't remember the size of these. I don't think I have any more in bags anywhere. If I do, I'm not sure. I don't know if I have them up in those bins or if they're hanging up over there somewhere. But the black blue was always good. They had some nice, green colors. So there's that man's Dragon Tube. If you see any on, if you're messing around on eBay and they have them there and they're not that much, give them a shot. They do work. They do work. I mean, there's a couple other tubes in here. I'm not sure. Yeah, they had green pumpkin. I think these are, and I don't want to mess this up, but I'm pretty sure. I think these are Reaction Innovations. I think they called it a boom tube. Boom tube. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. I always liked it. It was a bigger tube. Nice for flipping. I always did well with this color. I had like 4 colors of them, because actually 5. Looks like it. That white one is a Reaction Innovation, and this one that was kind of like a green pumpkin and a chartreuse, that was always good. Of course, I had to have, their version of the black neon. I don't remember what this was. Oxblood, maybe. I don't remember. If you guys are good with Reaction Innovations and know, they may still make these. I'm not sure. These are old, but they still may have their own tube. But I haven't bought any in a while. And of course, the white. So any tube brand you pick, if you've got that black neon or the black red and the red flake, black red green flake, I think with the venom. If you've got that, you've got a white, and you've got some kind of a green pumpkin. That's really all in my opinion, that's all you need. You know, there's lots of other cool colors, but you know, if you got that green pumpkin, that black neon, that white, I don't think you need anything else. But that's another old school, you know, discontinued tube. And that's pretty much it for the tubes. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you guys. One discontinued bait, which was one of my favorites. And it's a tube, kind of. Back in the day, you guys may have some of these hanging around in your basement somewhere. Strike King, you know, here we go. This is the 2001 Classic Champion winning bait. And so 2001, was that 20 years ago? But Strike King ran this tube technology series back in the day, and I loved it. It was killer. It was killer. And two baits in particular from that series that I'm going to show you. One was the Wild Thing, which is killer. If you guys, my New Jersey buddies, probably know this, but I'm gonna I don't care if I give any secrets to New Jersey. You don't fish there anymore. But if you guys fish on the watersheds, specifically Oak Ridge, take a bait like this, or if you've got any of these in the round, and throw it around the buckbrush and see how you do. Because they hammer it there. They hammer it there. But as you can see, it's like it's a creature bait, but with a tube body in the back. So here's your tube body, and then they add the creature bait part of it. You know, the Wild Thing part of it, whatever you want to call these appendages here. So there you go. I think that's just watermelon. Yeah, that's watermelon. But I love these. I love these, and whenever I'd go in, you know, a fishing store back in 2001, and I'd see a bag of whatever color, whatever. They had a lizard too, but I didn't throw that as much as the Wild Thing. And then, I'll show you one more. If you come across these on eBay or somewhere, or you got a buddy who doesn't throw them anymore and wants to get rid of them, give them a try. This is a great creature bait / tube. So it's got that tube body, but it is a creature bait. But my number one of the tube technology baits, and that might actually be the lizard right there. It says Wild Thing, but that almost looks like a lizard in the pack. Let me check. I can show it to you. No, that's a Wild Thing. Green pumpkin Wild Thing, can't go wrong. Throw a little orange on there. Sometimes I put a little orange on here, just on the back, and I put a little bit on these appendages on the side. Give it a little something to interest the fish a little more. But if you see them sitting around somewhere, grab them. But the best one on the lakes in Jersey back in the day was the tube Craw. Right there, the Strike King tube Craw, tube technology Craw. And you can there are still companies that make tube craws. I think Lake Fork Tackle makes one. I know there's other ones. I don't know exactly who makes them, but a tube craw is a great flipping bait. You've got the tube body, and then you've got those claws on there. I used to always put a little orange on there. You'll flip this green pumpkin one around on Pompton Lake. A little orange on those claws. And if the weeds, if they haven't killed them, are awesome, it's an awesome bait for there. If it's an awesome bait for there. It used to be. It used to be before they started spraying, killing all the weeds. Maybe it'll be better now. I doubt it. But if you guys see these like on eBay, or if you got a buddy who's got them and doesn't use them anymore, tell him you'll take them off his hands. That green pumpkin one is a dynamite bait. It still is. I still throw it today. Here's another one, red shad, which was good too, in the dirty water especially. But the Strike King, you know, tube technology line of baits, which unfortunately they stopped making. It's great. It's great. I don't think that Strike King even makes a tube craw anymore. But I know if you if you look around, there are people that make them. Like I said, I know Lake Fork Tackle does, and a few other companies might. But that's it. That's the one. That's a couple of the old school flipping tube baits I wanted to show you guys. And this one's great. Caught a lot of fish on this. A lot of fish on this over the years. I would put this probably right up there with that black neon or black and red and green flake Venom here. That's not as big. I think they're only 4-inch. Doesn't say it on the pack, but I think this was only, well, it looks like a 4-inch bait. It's not a big bait, but you can get away with a 4-aught hook. These are great. These are great. Like, so if you guys, you know, haven't used them in a while, when you're next time you're flipping a weed line somewhere, try it out. Try it out. I think you'll be glad you did. I think you'll be glad you did. But that's it. I'm just going to try to keep this one under 30 minutes. Last night I blabbed a little bit on the video. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you some of my favorite flipping tubes. And there's other areas in the tube world we'll go to eventually. I'll show you some of the ones I like when I'm gonna, just drag a tube on the bottom with a weight inside, with a rattle, and when I'm a little more, finessey. This is flipping. This is flipping and pitching a cover with heavy line and a big weight. Depending on how thick the cover is. But you can just go and throw these on docks and, with 3/8 ounce head and have a good time. Have a good time. But be a line watcher. Definitely be a line watcher when you're flipping these soft plastic tubes like this, because that line will just move off if a fish has it. It's not so much that jig bite where it's like sometimes they feel like they're just, trying to just yank it down out of your hand. It's a lot of line watching. A lot of line watching. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoy that. If there's any tubes, flipping tubes you know of that you like, let me know. Maybe it'd be one I'm not aware of. But check out online, see what you can find, and give them a shot. I think you'll be happy. It's definitely a great flipping bait, which I always have those tubes, those black neon tubes in the boat somewhere when I know I'm going to do some flipping. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon on YouTube. Mark out.